Hello. It is my pleasure to welcome you to today's information session on the WMA Wellness Positive Workplace Framework. Today we will be talking about how to create and sustain healthy and effective workplaces that optimize your employees' well-being, engagement, and performance. I'd like to start out by introducing myself. My name is John Morrison and I have been a member of the WMA team since 2007. My work with WMA was primarily focused on assisting with research and providing marketing leadership until 2013 when I enrolled in a PhD program where I was able to expand my exploration of positive psychology in the workplace and the awesome impact that strength-based approaches can have on individual employees and organizations as a whole. Today our agenda is going to be concise and informative. I will provide an overview of the Canadian workplace, mental health in the workplace, and the reasons why WMA is part of this conversation. From there, I will discuss our organizational baseline assessment instrument, the Mental Fitness and Resiliency Inventory, and specific strategies for positive change. I will conclude with a walkthrough of our online resources. Before we talk about your company's ability to engage employees in powerful ways that optimize well-being, engagement, and performance, I'll give a brief overview of some of the challenges and underlying issues that are having a major effect on Canadian workers. Over 20% of all Canadian workers are currently experiencing some level of mental health concern, and by age 40, that number increases to north of 50%. Presenteeism, which accounts for an $8 billion annual loss to employers in Canada, is best described as the decrease in productivity that we see in employees coming to work and performing under suboptimal health conditions. It's not uncommon for disengaged employees to spend multiple hours a week shopping online or browsing social media. Other startling statistics include the number of Canadian workers reporting that 51% of their total stress is work-related, 76% of short-term disability claims are related to mental illness, and 79% of long-term disability claims are related to mental illness. I want to show you a few more important statistics before we move on. 59% of all workers report being in the high stress category, high stress being defined as extreme fatigue and feeling out of control. Proof of workplace mental health issues being a growing trend is evidenced by the fact that sick leave for mental health issues in employees is twice as likely under the age of 30. 28% of Canadian employees miss 3 to 6 days per year due to stress, 46% take multiple days off to deal with their mental health, and here is a big takeaway. 75% of these employees believe that workplace culture is the most important thing to address with regards to mental health in the workplace. In today's workplace, organizations are shifting faster than ever as they attempt to adapt to a rapidly changing world. 60% of Canadian workers experienced at least one significant work-related change in 2016. These changes included team restructuring, layoffs and downsizing, job redesign, and changes in physical office space. 43% said that change had a negative impact on the company, and 40% said it affected their own health and well-being. Almost 1/3 of Canadians said that the change hurt their job performance. These recent statistics provide a shocking picture of the harsh realities that Canadian businesses are facing. An astute business model and calculated leveraging of resources and capabilities are no longer enough to thrive in the pursuit of a sustained competitive advantage and long-term profitability. A large body of emerging literature shows that unhealthy workplace interactions elevate workplace stress. When stress is high, employee satisfaction and commitment decrease, leading to a suite of problems that diminish productivity and raise costs. Similarly, unhealthy management and team practices contribute to the same chain of events leading to low productivity and high costs. The cost of workplace stress can take an unnecessarily large chunk out of a business's bottom line. To illustrate this point, I want to look at a small business of 50 employees with an average of 3 stress days taken by each employee per year. Emerging literature shows us that presenteeism costs equate to 7.5 times the cost of stress-related sick days. If we look at the cost of stress-related absenteeism and presenteeism, while ignoring short-term and long-term disability costs, this small business example has a realistic and astounding stress-related cost of almost $200,000 per year. Now at this point, I want you to take a moment to think about what your rationale is for creating a healthy and effective workplace. Traditional workplace wellness approaches often emphasize problems or challenges and approaches required to address areas of risk or concern related to employee relationships or productivity. This view unequivocally associates mental health with the absence of mental illness and being unwell with the presence of mental illness. Recent better practices in workplace wellness research are demonstrating the importance of moving beyond a problem-focused approach to embrace a more positive view of people and their potential. On the right side of your screen, I'm happy to introduce you to WMA's Positive Workplace Framework. The literature shows us that mental fitness, resiliency, and positive leadership practices are necessary to form positive workplace environments that are characterized by engagement, performance, and wellness. For today's presentation, I will provide a brief overview on mental fitness and resiliency. We'll save positive leadership for another time. You might be asking yourself, what exactly is mental fitness? Well, quite simply, it's our personal sense of well-being, and it occurs when three basic psychological needs are met. I'll briefly describe each in the workplace context. Relatedness, the need to have meaningful and positive relationships with colleagues. Competency, the need to be effective in job-related tasks. And autonomy, the need to have a perceived level of control of task execution and environmental workplace forces. Resiliency can be defined as the capacity to adapt and realize positive outcomes in daily living, despite challenges. Current evidence points towards 5 specific resiliency strengths or assets that facilitate empowerment, positive coping, healthy transitions, and learning during times of change or challenge in the workplace. They include the following areas: relationship assets, professional assets, attitudinal assets, emotional intelligence, and adaptation assets. You may already know a bit about us, so I'll move quickly through this portion of the presentation. First and foremost, we are a group of highly trained and experienced professionals that specialize in giving your company the tools to engage, develop, and optimize your greatest asset, your employees. This slide features a nice group shadow of our team with CEO and founder Dr. William Morrison and senior partner Dr. Patricia Peterson, given a little extra exposure in the top right-hand corner. Dr. Morrison and Dr. Peterson are leading experts in the area of positive psychology in the workplace and are the co-creators of the Positive Workplace Framework. With such a large volume of emerging research, it can be difficult to know where to start, what areas of your organization to focus on, and how to most effectively apply and embed positive psychology concepts and practices. WMA has that hard part covered though. To get started, your organization can generate baseline assessments through the application of our validated measures. Our 2 main tools include the Mental Fitness and Resiliency Inventory, known as the MFRI, and the Positive Leadership Inventory, known as the PLI. Filling out these online instruments takes approximately 8 minutes and can be completed whenever your employees have the time. The results provided in your customized report are linked directly to strategies for change. After you're in possession of your custom strategy, it's important to own the strategy in-house by having trained champions facilitate the implementation of positive workplace framework initiatives. Trainers can be trained in person, via web conferencing, or asynchronously using WMA's online training modules. Your trained trainers will be certified as positive workplace framework facilitators and will be the driving force behind the embedding of mental fitness practices, resiliency practices, and positive leadership practices. Your trainers will be aided by unlimited access to the online Positive Workplace Framework learning platform and resources. This robust library of tools and resources will be essential for promoting, embedding, and building capacity in positive workplace framework practices within workplace environments. At this point, I'd like to switch gears and walk you through an example MFRI report. The MFRI measures the presence of positive workplace practices that contribute to healthy and effective workplace culture. The results of the MFRI provide a profile of organizational strengths related to mental fitness and resiliency, i.e., those practices which are embedded and comprehensive, which we call Zone C, and areas for development, i.e., those practices requiring promotion and capacity building, which we refer to as Zones A and B. Here we see some key excerpts from a custom MFRI report featuring results that highlight the 3 zones relative to mental fitness and resiliency, as well as recommended training modules. Before we end today's session, I want to walk you through a quick tour of the Positive Workplace Framework learning platform. Once you are provided with your custom login, you can simply enter your credentials by clicking on the Client Login button on our homepage at www.wmawellness.com. On the next page, you will see our 3 separate learning and resource areas: mental fitness, resiliency, and positive leadership. Today we will take a quick look at the mental fitness section. This is the main page for the mental fitness section of the PWF. Across the top, you will see a selection of tabs that you can use to navigate through the learning platform. In the Action Plan tab, trainers are provided with a guide that links approaches with various resources and aligns them with specific goals. Action plans may be downloaded in PDF form for local storage and printing. Under the Activities tab, a list of downloadable activities provides certified trainers with a valuable set of resources for developing and embedding mental fitness practices within the organization. The Modules tab will give your employees an opportunity to work through a variety of learning modules that include interactive ebooks, videos, and knowledge testing applications. The MFRI tab allows for organizations to establish an organizational baseline and retest to track progress in embedding positive psychology concepts and practices within their workplace. As well, facilitators can create reports that compare current and previous results and help generate future planning. The Facilitators tab acts as a professional development section for your certified trainers. There are regular updates to available content in this section that allows for continued learning and development as your organization moves forward. Thank you for your time. We're so excited to engage with your company as you strive towards optimizing your employees' well-being, engagement, and performance. If you have questions, please feel free to call us or click on the Ask Us a Question link on the screen. Have a great day.